Hello, it is I, Eatin Shit Food Reviews. And I'm here with what's called, unfortunately now, my lovely assistant camerawoman's away, so I am without her services. So if you notice a difference in the camera work or something like that, you can attribute it to that. However, I'm here with an item I found in a convenience store called Original Overload. Now, with Original Overload, apparently they did some market research and found out Reese's Peanut Butter Cups just aren't fucked up enough for everyone. They had to come out with this Overload candy. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this. This is the first time I've ever seen it, and I picked it up. It was in a grocery store in a small town. Like a grocery store / gas station, like, you know when you're in a small town when everything's in one store. It's the post office, it's the liquor store, and it's also, the grocery store, convenience store, and gas station. It's everything. Get your shoes shine there while you're at it. I don't even know what. Anyways, so I was rooting through there and amongst, like, a variety of aged candy, I found these. Now let me just show this to you right here. Alright. It's Original Overload. I don't know if this is going to seem backwards to anybody, but I apologize now if the labeling is backwards as the camera picks it up. But, yeah, so as you can see, what we have here is a peanut butter cup with a sandwich cookie on top, like an Oreo-style sandwich cookie, although it's not official Oreo. One with what seems to be M&M's, and another one with, like, a chocolate chip cookie. So here we have three different, like, candy hybrids of sorts. Or actually, hybrids between peanut butter cups and, like, baked goods, it seems. So, yeah, like I said, I found this to be extremely interesting. Like, both ideologically and practically, right? It might taste fucking good, Seems kind of like the sort of thing that I'd want some, like, I'd want some milk to try. But hey, let's bust this open, Let's just do this right now. The shitty thing about not having my lovely girlfriend camera woman here is that when I'm doing this by myself, I really feel like I'm just screaming into the air. Okay, but anyways, here we have our three different overloaded peanut butter cups, alright? And one thing I actually, just off the hop, one thing I find to be relatively, like, worth noting is that these are actual M&Ms. Right? Those are brand name M&Ms, man. That ain't no, like, one-off candy, candy-coated chocolate shit. That's, this ain't no off-brand, man. That's for real M&Ms, which leads me to believe that this must be produced by some reputable candy company or somebody who did this without the permission of M&M's Incorporated. I don't know. I don't know who does this. But another interesting thing to me is to kind of note almost like the subtle differences in the way things look, right? Because here you have this, like, peanut butter cup with these M&Ms on it, and the M&Ms are, like, perfectly distributed. And you have this, like, this thing with pretty well a significant amount of sandwich cream in it, and this perfect baked-looking cookie, okay? Now on here, I lost something. Let's just take these the hell out of the packaging. Why don't we? Now in this one, the cookie looks like a fucking rock. Like, honest to God, that looks like dried something that just got stuck to it. But even still, kind of appetizing. The M&Ms are cracked up, and by no stretch of the imagination are they perfectly distributed. And that sandwich cookie, well, I mean, it's kind of tough to misrepresent a sandwich cookie, although it has, like, less white stuff in it than you might think. But I don't know. I'm kind of complaining. I'm kind of harping on things right now, but, like, I'm also kind of really interested. So let's just try this out here. That's not bad. It's actually really good. It really just tastes just like an extra chocolatey peanut butter or chocolate chip cookie. One thing worth noting though is I can barely taste any peanut butter. There's like no peanut butter in there whatsoever. I can kind of try to show you. That's all fucking chocolate and no peanut butter. You know what I mean? So, like, I swear it's there mostly for, like, decoration. That one ain't so bad. The way the textures come together is a little bit weird because, like, store-bought cookies always kind of have that crunchy grittiness about them. They're almost like sandy or something like that. In fact, there's There's a brand of cookies that you can buy that are called Sandies. And that I just don't fucking get, alright? Like, you know what I mean? To advertise your cookie based on, like, its rather unpleasant texture just seems bizarro to me. It seems like, you know, the greatest, like, joke ever played on the food, on the food industry. You know, what are you going to do next? Name, like, you know, name it after cat litter? Fuck, like, I don't know. It's just gross, man. I don't like those. They're all gritty. Okay, but anyways, these are kind of gritty. So the textures come together in a bit of a weird way, right? Like, you know, they really are two different entities. Like, it's about the same, honest to God. Get a similar experience by buying a box of cookies and, I think, a peanut butter cups, I guess. Although I might be stating the obvious in that. Now let's try the sandwich cookie one. With this one, I'm kind of tempted to twist off the top and, like, you know, go at it like I would an Oreo, right? But I feel like for the sake of this review, I have to eat it as it's given to me. This one I gotta say is a little bit better. That's a real set of flavors coming together, you know. The textures aren't off. It's actually really tasty, but again, like barely any peanut butter. That cookie on top is crunchy as hell. Alright. That one's pretty good. Again, the same thing though, like, the way the textures come together, these are really just two bits stuck together, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, I don't know when we started deciding to arbitrate, like, put candies together, right? You know, and next thing you know, you're going to get a fucking overloaded Snickers with, like, a bunch of, like, I don't know, chips or some damn shit stuck into it. But, like, alright, here we have our M&M's one. This one seems like a little more cut and dried, right? Because this is kind of candy on candy, right? Cookies are baked goods, and candies are, like, you know, chocolate bars are chocolate bars, right? So, you know, there's a little bit of a clash there, right? This, on the other hand, this is candies on candy, so it might be a bit of a different story. Moreover, it's chocolate on chocolate. Let's just try this out. Curiously enough, this one has the most peanut butter in it. Which is funny then, because compared with the little candy bits, kind of makes it seem almost like a Reese's Pieces, which is one of my favorite candies, actually. I think about it, I forgot how much I love those things. There used to be no more joyous day than when I get to plug a quarter into one of those, like, grubby old candy machines. I give you, like, a handful of it. I get some Reese's Pieces out of one of those. There used to be one of those in my parents' work. Then sometimes there was no Reese's Pieces. They only had chocolate-covered raisins, which everybody knows is fucking disgusting. Alright. The, like, candy-coated shell really goes with this whole thing, man. Like, I don't know what it is. M&M's really hit the jackpot on coating chocolate with, well, real crispy bits of candy. I don't even know. It just works. I never really thought about it before, but it really does. Alright. I have to say, that one I just ate is probably my favorite, despite its, like, lack of relative extravagance, right? The other two are like a big production, right? Here's a cookie, and here's another cookie, and then the other one is just M&M's, you know what I mean? So, but despite that, that being said, that one was probably my favorite. It was real tasty, and, I don't know, it just really went together well. The other two went together a little bit weird. To give it a review, I would say, the thing is I have to kind of review these things as a collective, and some of them are better than others. But there's not too much variance, you know? Either way, none of them are unpalatable, and they're all pretty, like, they're all relatively tasty, you know what I mean? The one problem is that this, as a chocolate bar, was kind of expensive. It cost me $2.70. So, like, I don't know if that's just because I got it from, like, a small town, or if it comes at some inflated price because of its, I don't know, perceived, like, I don't know, larger offering, I guess. Either way, it's expensive. It was expensive for me. And I probably wouldn't go buying it at that kind of price again. Because, in fact, at that price, like, you get a package of M&M's probably for about $1, I imagine. I think a Reese's Peanut Butter Cups for another $1. And mix the fucking two together and get, like, my favorite cup 3 times in a row instead of having 3, you know, 2 of the ones that are lesser and then one that is greater. So, but as a package, I think it's interesting, you know, it's a new thing that they did. I'd probably give it about a 7, 7.5. But, I have some advice for you. Get some milk before you eat these things, because, oh my god, My mouth is so gummy, I can't even believe it. In fact, I'm gonna go get milk right now. Good evening.